scenario.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Here's the Scenario podcast, your favorite podcast with a couple episodes left.
We're not ending.
We just wanted to see if you would.
Yeah,
It's kind of
right.
a boy who cried wolf
Wanted
situation.
to see if you cared.
Yeah, we wanted to fake our death and then go to the funeral.
Finn style.
I was gonna steal it.
You eat it. I'm one of your hosts, Mike Feeney, being joined with me, as always,
By Mike Cannon.
Oh, and Brendan Sagalow.
And we are...
Listen to the life we've breathed into this show already.
Right?
The energy, the affection for each other.
Yeah.
We are like a couple that just broke up but is still fucking until one of us moves to Paris.
Yeah, I like that. Bonsoir.
I think we could... I would like to address some things up top, get the elephant out of the room. The cops
I'd like
are
to
coming.
undress
we only
some
have a
things.
few moments.
Oh my God, they break in.
I'd like to address some things, and I didn't know how old they were when I...
They're like, freeze! You didn't iron that out of the package.
Oh, yeah, Brendan, would you like to now address your freshly just bought it on the way here shirt that is now has the lines down it and then also somehow punched into your backpack and then taken out and then worn?
I don't think there's anything left to say. To be honest, I think
There's one
that's
more
pretty
thing.
much it.
There's one more thing. How does the neck look like a giraffe's pussy freshly after
I
giving
don't
birth?
know, dude. Every time I wear a fucking white... Wait, what do you mean by that? Before
He's
I
saying that you
continue?
have it.
Because I might like admit to something. What
do you-
yeah.
What? What
No,
are you
I don't know.
gonna,
I was
what,
gonna
you
say-
stick your head up a
Here
giraffe's
come
neck?
the cops.
It's the zoo patrol.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I was thinking that too. I was looking at this and I was like, this is fucking brand new. And every white shirt
You should
I
return it.
have.
Two questions
Turn
come
it.
with that. Number one, where is that shirt from? Is it a cheap white shirt? Because if so, you got your answer right there.
It's pretty cheap. I would say it comes. It was.
What would we
it
call
was a
It was a pack.
pack of 5
Uh-huh.
was $30. I mean, that's not like
It's very cheap. Yeah.
it's cheap. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like that's like an undershirt. That's like what you wear under like a suit shirt.
Well, it's an overshirt for me right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
but-
Formal wear.
Formal wear.
Shut the fuck up. No, I don't know. I just.
That's what you wear. That's what you're wearing 3 hours into the wedding after you've taken off
I'm
the
actually
suit
getting
and tie.
offended.
I know.
I finally have a fucking white shirt with no stains on it, and you somehow find
Yeah.
the thing that's wrong with
if
it.
it's not that it's cheap, do you think it could be the fact that you might have as George Costanza was told, a bulbous head or neck that might stretch out the neckwear?
So you're saying that was a normal head, that was a regular,
Well, it's one of two options. It's
Regular
either that,
spout.
or it's either that, or it was a.
because
cheap-
look at it, even like
Yeah.
it's rip-tiding over.
Why
dude.
isn't it tight?
You
Like,
see it in the front, how it's curling
Yeah,
over
it
like
shouldn't
that?
be curling over. I think it's just a cheap.
I put a
shirt.
sweatshirt on before this,
Yeah.
and I have a sweatshirt.
I don't mean
if
to
you'd like me
dissect
put
you.
it
I'm
on.
just upset that you didn't get the bang for your buck that you were hoping for.
Yeah.
I think he got exactly what he paid for.
Yeah,
but it
I got whatever this buck cost, but you know, it is what it is. When I
looks
do,
soft.
it feels nice, and it kind of actually looks nice. I like that. I like it with the pants, but I will say this: when I have more money, the shirts will be coming in. So
That's cool.
go fund me.
That's cool. From this,
My
yeah,
white
get-
shirt, go fund me. Yeah, it's so funny. The
Get
Patreon,
Brendan to Haynes.
The Patreon are tiers when it comes to you guys, but it's a GoFundMe for me. That's what we should have done. God damn it.
Brendan GoFundMe fund.
Yeah.
Go fund yourself.
Life GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Brendan's life GoFundMe.
um.
But yeah, welcome to the show.
Yeah. I would
Sorry.
also. I also have to
Because
address
we ran out of steam.
my face.
Oh, you're the
It's the little scraps. The scrap heap.
What?
You think anyone cares?
Nobody does. But
Nobody
this
cares.
Is how, this
Nobody
is how,
notices.
Well, I'm normally very.
You're like
clean-shaven.
fucking
I'm very
Dennis,
normally
dude.
clean-shaven.
Yeah, I do like
Dennis?
it.
You're
Gets
like
revealed
Dennis.
more and more every single
What do you
week
mean?
because the vanity behind what he's about to address is
No, it's,
just
it's more
pure
of a
sociopath.
continuation of last week. So last week, if you go back and look at the episode, I had these like red marks all over my neck.
Are we on Pock watch for Feeney?
Yeah, nobody cares, and I'm constantly growing. Like I'm constantly swallowing another fucking twin. I mean, look at my face.
Yeah,
I
you
always
can't.
have.
Well, no, I was
pimples.
saying
We can't
even
it's actually
keep
there's a
track.
story behind it. I'm not just being like that was that week. This is this week. I'm saying because last week shortly after the podcast, that's when I found out, because I was like, boy, this is getting worse and spreading. And there was like,
Spreading?
oh yeah, I went all the way down. It's actually like just about cleared up now. It's like there's very few left. But dude, this was like
Jeez. You
got
bright red
external
all
HPV.
the way down my neck. And just had this fucking brutal bacterial infection. And then I was like, I thought it was razor burn, so I put a hot, like steaming towel on my neck and just had that on there. All I did was just like spread it. Just like spread it and like
that
make
sucks.
it grow. Like I went in the steam of my shower, and that just like made the bacteria grow more and like sprouted more.
It went, thank you.
Yeah, it was
completely
it was like,
fungicide.
dude, I looked like Spawn. I was like,
Yeah, you look
know?
like
Literally how you grow fungus is put them in dark steaming
yeah.
area.
I mean, the lights
That's
were on,
mushrooms.
but
You're
it
like the
was
zombie
but it's
from The
not
Last of Us.
underneath the towel, you dumb dick. That actually eclipsed all of the light, so you created a dark, steamy atmosphere.
dark.
Dark.
So it was-
Don't pick one.
I did it.
man.
That's
I
good.
did it.
It worked
I'm
on the
taking
retard.
notes. I'm taking notes. I go,
Unbelievable.
okay, so when he calls you dumb, make fun of something he
You
said.
shake your fucking keys in front of this Labrador, and unbelievable, he comes
saying.
running. Did something walk in? Why'd you look at the corner of the room like
Because
that?
I remember the fan being in a different position before we
It
left the
was.
studio.
Nicole pulled the cord. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Look where it's pointing to.
Unbelievable.
The chair's in the corner. Sweating over here. Anyway,
Jacket.
so I had
Yeah,
this.
take the jacket off.
I could take the jacket off, but it kind of ties the whole look together, you
It
know?
does.
It does match your spots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they were, and then I was also shaving because I was like, I got to keep clean shaven because the hairs coming in will be prickly and will
Yeah.
irritate the skin.
That's
And so
true,
I was
though.
shaving it, and they were like, your skin spreading it around.
Oh, my
So they were like,
God.
you can't shave until
Who's
this.
they? Who are you talking
The
to?
dermatologist.
Have you never shaved your pubes all the way down?
Sure.
Oh,
But that's like
every time
that's
I
the
shave
first
my
time you
pubes.
learn about that shit.
Yeah.
Is razor burn. Sometimes you never thought like, oh my god, I have herpes or something, or oh my god.
No,
what
I've
the
known
fuck is
razor
happening?
Don't we all have herpes?
No, we
No.
don't. But I do remember sophomore year of high school, I started a like almost school-wide campaign of guys shaving their pubes completely.
Oh, like
And
completely bald.
Bald eagle.
I
We
still
had
do
one
that.
Chinese kid on our basketball team named Howard Ng, and it turned to barred eager pretty quickly. But that was then.
Boy,
This
that's
is
not
now.
even a
We're
part
far
of the
too
story
progressive.
You had to say. You could have just not told that part of the story.
Yeah, but it was part of it, and I
Yeah.
feel like it's a natural, natural accent that I need to paint.
Yeah, and he,
His name was
now he's
Ping?
listening.
No, the last part. Just saying. But yeah, so we would shave our pubes and routinely just like compare constellations
Nice.
of fucking ingrown hair.
Yeah, but
That's like
this,
when-
but this was none of those, is what I'm saying. This was actually, I thought it was razor burn.
No,
but
it's
it
worse.
wasn't.
That's like when soldiers
Way
would
worse.
put
You
water
turned-
in their.
You
so
turned
much
it
worse.
into razor burn, so it was once a fungal thing, and then you
razor burned it on top of
it.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
you
brutal.
fucked it up, dude.
So now I'm like, I think by tomorrow I can shave, because for the most part it was like really bad, and it also had like one over here too. But
Oh, hold on. Are you explaining this because you believe that your scruff is noticeable and people are thinking you're haggard?
I don't think it said I'm haggard.
I
think-
just
I think
noticed
it-
that
I
you had
think-
facial hair for the first time since you walked in just now.
Interesting.
And it's just
Nicole.
It's
yeah, but
just
Cannon
the,
can't see.
I can't see, but it's also the only
I
thing
thought he
I'm
was
really
talking to you
seeing-
this whole time.
The only thing that's really noticeable is the Carlos baby
Oh,
mustache.
no.
I do
Everything
notice
else-
it, but it does look. I think it looks.
It's
good.
growing in all right this time.
I think it's a move. Yeah.
A move?
I think it's a
Yeah,
move.
evil.
It look-
This is my post HTS era.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like Carlin when he grew his hair out.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
After, dude.
I have been thinking about growing my hair out.
Yeah.
But
Down to your
but
butt?
Yeah, but that's
Like a
what's-
pony?
I guarantee.
Grow it out like Bieber, dude. Like how you used to have it.
What do you mean, like like
Yeah.
Bieber didn't have it? Oh,
You should grow it like that
Don't do
again.
that.
Yeah.
The bowl cut. No, it's a lot of
The
dude, I
all-time
can't-
low
It's so
bowl
It's
cut.
so much work to grow your hair out long, dude, and it's so like hot.
Yeah.
It's like just
He's doing it right now.
yeah, but there's a lot of permeability. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm saying like certain hair is thicker, and so it's
Easy,
like and
easy.
his is more of a
You mean the ones on the side?
What are you afraid of?
his is more of a forest in winter. You know what I mean?
The
It's a lot of
I like
trees.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A lot of trees.
lot of trees. The pine
But-
cones have settled at the bottom.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can,
dead
you can see
birds.
the horse through the trees.
Right. Yeah. Just a lady in a red dress
yeah, in the distance.
running away. Who is that?
Miss, you're running after her.
Miss?
She keeps getting further away.
Yeah.
So, Nicole, how are you feeling?
I can't wait for Christmas.
Good. I did notice your facial hair right away.
I also did notice it right away, but it is
I was assuming
address
the jumping was going to happen at some
Sure.
point, so I did want to get ahead of that.
right. The addressing of it was a little.
Well, it was more. It was
Crazy.
self-preservation. I don't know if it's crazier than wearing
It's a little beard
fresh
rabbit.
wrinkled shirt, but I do think.
Don't attack me.
Thank you, Brendan.
And also, don't attack my shirt.
Damn, I thought you were on my side more.
I
You're a
fucking-
jerk.
was
But yeah, your
laughing.
shirt sucks. It's stupid and wrinkly. And frankly, somehow too big
And
and
frankly?
too small at the same time.
Nazi.
Where was she hiding?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Somewhere up here. You'd see her if she was up here.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yes.
He was mocking your shitty hair, dude.
Yeah, but I got ahead of it.
See, like I tried to do,
But
except
who are
when
we
I tried to do it.
against?
Yeah.
Me. For no
Podcast
reason.
should have just been called Verses.
Yeah. And then,
And then every once in a while, Brenda would rap in the interludes.
yeah,
Verses on Verses.
me versus.
Is there still time?
Yeah. Let's start the show.
We really could. There is no one stopping us besides us now.
There
Like a
is.
self-imposed.
Yeah.
Self-imposed ban.
So this thing happened to me. Not this thing, but like I wanted to
Life
tell you. I
moment?
thought it was a very funny kind of moment where I was very mean to an old lady
Okay.
on the subway.
Great tease. I'm in.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting at the Astor place. This was 2 weeks ago. I'm waiting after a show that I just bombed at because
Uh-oh.
the host was fucking hammered.
But the show's ending. Just say who it was.
No, I don't want to do that. But I just don't feel comfortable doing that. You don't need to tell them what. Anyway, so they don't control you, man.
Stop podcasting by yourself.
Yeah, no, that was
Love
that,
this stupid little
is-
podcast.
This is going to be evidence at a later point when Brendan has developed full-blown paranoid schizophrenia, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Is there ever any signs?" And we're like, "No." Then there's we're like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
you can tell it." Well, you should. Just,
You shouldn't. You're a good guy.
I have full blown everything. So the host was like fucking hammered. I bombed, and now I'm going back home. And
What did he say to bring you up? Like,
this
how did
buddy,
he fuck up?
He's like, okay, you guys ready? So it's like, all right, he's hammered, but whatever. It's not hard.
But noticeable to the audience too.
Very noticeable to an audience that was not having a good time to begin with. So all
Well,
I
he
can
was there to begin with.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I can only assume that it's been like this the entire way. And whatever, it is what it is. I did that myself, so whatever. But
Where is this venue? Like where?
it was New York Comedy Club
Oh,
on
okay.
East 4th Street.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like 30 people in the room, so it feels small. The host is a giant man who is really hammered.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a scruffy beard. He's got long hair. He looks
know
like
who
a
this
mess.
is.
Doesn't matter.
Write
but,
it down. But keep talking.
Bleep it.
Yeah. Can we bleep it? It was.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't bleep it. So he goes up and he's like, okay, you guys ready for the next comic? And everyone's like,
I'm pretty sure he told me like last week that he quit drinking. But go ahead.
well,
Maybe
maybe
after this.
maybe he's like withdrawing and it's. You ever watch like.
More than likely.
Isn't
he
there a
was just
thing where
drinking.
like people like withdraw and then they become drunk in a way?
I don't think so.
You think you? Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Cut
It
this
doesn't
whole
matter.
part out.
You don't have to cut anything out except
Withdrawal.
for
The
Not even
name.
The name.
his name.
Again. And now they read your lips.
Just getting Nicole work. She's not going to do it now in spite of me. Please cut it out. I'll pay you to cut it out. So
I'm not cutting it.
whatever. So okay, he brings me up and he kind of fumbles the momentum.
Sure.
So
The
like
dinosaur with the long neck comedian.
I'll try to I'll try to recreate it, but he goes
That's kind of the noise that they made at the end.
Yeah.
He goes, all right, you guys ready for your next comic? This guy, so funny, performed at Just for Laughs Festival.
Great
Now
star.
I'm walking up, and he goes, I've met him, when I met him years ago, he's always been a killer, and and now I'm coming up to the stage, and I'm kind of on the stage, and he goes, oh, Brendan Sagalow! And I grab the mic and I go, this guy's fucking hammered, give it up for him. And nobody really laughed that much. But so
They're
already.
like, we liked him.
Right. So my So all my energy is off. I bombed. Like, it wasn't their fault or his fault. It was my fault. My whole fucking energy was off. I hated it. So whatever. I get off stage. I go to the Astor Place subway, and I'm like, I'm not like pissed that I bombed, but I'm like, you got to do better next time. Whatever, it is what it is. I'm trying to I'm just like, it is what it is. It's not the set that I would have wanted.
Sure.
And now I'm going home. And this old lady, I can feel her presence. She's got to be like 80 something. I could feel her presence, this little old lady, and I'm on my phone, and I'm like this. So I walk a little couple of feet, and she follows me, and then she comes up and she goes, "Excuse me," and I'm wearing a shirt with a jacket. I don't look good.
She's like, "Excuse me, did you just take that out of the package without ironing it?
You gotta iron that, young man."
I was confused because of the whole neck looking so wrinkled and thin and loose. I thought surely he had never worn it before, and yet the stripes down the middle.
He must have caught it on the bosom as he was putting his shirt on.
How much did you pay for that? Cheap, right? Cheap.
I said to myself, that couldn't be more than a 4-pack.
The shirt my Harold was buried in looks fresher.
So she goes, "Excuse me." She goes, "Did you just come from an event?" And I'm on my phone. I go, "No." So I'm already I'm like, "No." I'm trying to be nice, but also I'm in a bad mood.
You're guarded.
I'm guarded.
I know you already. You said it like the first time you said it.
Yeah.
And then you shifted because you saw me and Feeney did not soften at all.
Well, I feel bad being mean to an old person.
You did it. It's a flaw,
and
man.
I did it.
You
and
had
it
a
is
moment.
what it is.
It's
and,
okay.
I've
been mean to plenty of old people.
So she goes.
Yeah.
She goes. So I go no, and that's where I was hoping the conversation would be over.
Yeah.
And the minute it wasn't, I got even angrier. The minute she went, "Where did you come from?" I went, "A comedy club," and she goes, and I go, "Fuck." And she goes, "A comedy club?" And she goes, "I just took a class with Joe Firestone. What's her name?
Firestone.
Joe Firestone. She goes, "I just took Joe Firestone's class." So Joe teaches old people.
Old people.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
She goes, "I took Joe Firestone's comedy class," and I go, "Oh, that's really cool." And she goes, "What do you do? Are you a comedian?" And I go, my head goes, I don't want to say I'm a comedian. I don't want to talk about comedy. I don't want to, I just don't want to get myself into that conversation.
You should have just said you sell drugs.
But
The ego.
I made it even worse. I went, "Oh no, I'm a general manager." And she's like, "Ooh, whoa!" Like, it's all of a
My
sudden
Harold was a general manager.
in that shirt.
At General Electric.
Yeah.
We used to call him General Howard.
For over 50 moons,
Yeah.
he was the biggest.
My grandfather was a general.
General Manager. You mean you're the head of the comedians?
Exactly.
Oh, boy.
So
So this lady is just, getting the last conversation she'll ever have out of the way. And Brendan is begrudgingly, and not even begrudgingly, angrily about to snap on her.
right. And so I go, I'm a general manager.
Shoves her to the ground. Listen, lady, I don't know what your fucking problem is.
Yeah, right. Back the fuck off.
This woman died in her sleep shortly after this.
I took her the
No,
back of the neck and I just threw her onto the third rail.
No, she had a broken heart because she was trying to connect with a younger boy.
Anyway, continue.
Well, boy, did she have a broken heart, because I go. So she thinks this is her moment. She thinks this is, oh my God, I started comedy. I took a comedy class and now I'm meeting a general manager out of the fucking blue.
Oh.
So she's like, so she goes to me and she goes, she's like, "General manager. Oh, wow." She's like all like intense
Gee
about it.
willikers.
Whoa. And she goes, "At what club?" And I go, "The New York Comedy Club on East 4th, because that's where I came from." And she goes, and she's like, "Wow, I would love to see a show there." And I go, yeah, you should go. It'd be really nice. She goes, your tickets are so expensive, though. And I go, yeah, they sure are. And she goes, do you think you can comp me some tickets?
Wow.
And I go, no, we just had a meeting. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to dig myself out of this hole with more lies. I'm just in a web of lies.
I've actually gotten in a ton of trouble. They told me this is it. This is their last warning. I'm on strike 2. I mean, it's crazy, dude. I met the guy from Limp Bizkit.
There's a third kid on the way.
Yeah.
I have a third kid on the way.
What's also funny is you could very easily get her comp tickets if you wanted to.
Why would I do that?
Why not? Just to
A
get
dying
out of the
woman's
conversation.
wish? Yes. Be like, give me your email. I'll put it on the list.
Yeah. She'll be like, email? Is that the same as
Yeah.
I
have my
All right, my email
whatever
is
reference I couldn't think of?
Stop.
The
Boop,
mail.
boop, boop, stop. That's how you get the operator.
You also know all the managers there, so you could have been like, just show up at the door.
You could have
and give
gotten
this
her a
person's
spot.
name.
I could have done all the shit. I didn't want to, okay?
You had just bombed.
It was about me. No, but now she goes, can you get me tickets? Now,
We just had a meeting.
I'm not that mad about that.
What was the meeting about?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Like he
They
told
serve
her-
donuts.
He goes off for 10 minutes, and there was like such a selection
There
of
was a
donuts. And they were
great
like high end, and there's some of them
Charcuterie
One
board
of them had like
of
maple and bacon.
shrimp. And so
Shrimp and donuts?
shrimp donuts,
What a
charcuterie.
delectable meeting meal.
So I go, you can use the tails to pick up the munchkins.
He's-
You spear a munchkin with that.
So we're not supposed to be giving out comps anymore. Come on.
yeah.
No, but I go, I'm not very mad at that. I go, okay, sure. She's asking for tickets. I'm still like livid that the conversation is going.
Mm-hmm.
That really gets me. So I go, we just had a meeting about giving comped tickets, and they're really on her ass about doing that. And she goes, but aren't you the general manager? And I go, yeah. And she goes, well, then aren't you the boss? She's like,
Technically the owners.
that's what I said.
Nice.
And I went, well, no, I have bosses
This
above me.
conspiracy goes to the top. Dude, this is so fucking
He gets
nuts.
takes a hard
I can't believe this conversation is still fucking going.
he takes a hard right turn. He's like, well, if you think about it, it's because of the pandemic. The Biden administration really is the ones that are in charge of things. If you think about the PCP loans, like you say PCP loans, yeah.
PSP loans.
Yeah.
I got a PSP on loan 12 years ago and haven't been able to pay it back since. So I go, she goes, aren't you the boss? And I go, yeah, but there are bosses above me. And she goes, who are they? And I go, they're the owners of the club. And she goes, what's their names? And I go,
Like, lady, this is what started the knockout game. This fucking interaction right now.
Isn't it fucking
Yeah.
insane?
Now I wanna
So now
I was
I'm
with-
livid.
I
So
was
now
with her
I'm
until
Yeah.
the
Me too. I mean,
continuing.
I was annoyed generally, manager, but I.
Well, you had a long night of taking inquiries from drunks.
Yeah, dude, it's hard
and
to
you
work
had
these
just
fucking.
come from that shrimp.
And my staff is
And
lazy,
the credit card machine went down.
and these comics, they're fucking divas. So yeah. So she goes, "What are their names?" And I go, "I'm not going to tell you that." And then she goes, "But it's very expensive." That's what she goes. She goes, "It's very expensive." And I go, "I know. I don't know." So now I'm like yelling at her. And then I just go, "Lady, I don't need to have this conversation with you. I'm going away." And I just walked away and I felt really bad. And that was pretty much the whole thing.
What did
And
she say when you did that?
You gave her your full name?
No, of course not.
Okay.
I said, my name is Mike Cannon. No, I was like,
When you said I'm going
so
away,
I
what
went,
did she
I don't
say?
need to have this conversation with you. I'm going over there. And while I'm saying that, she's going, she can't fucking believe
Yeah.
that I'm like, I'm giving her shit. It's like, I don't know how this worked when, alcohol was illegal, lady,
Yeah.
but, you can't just fucking expect to get up at my club like this.
This is
There's a
not how
whole
we do
audition
things.
process, lady.
Who are your Rex?
Yeah. I go, I need at least 5 recommendations. I should have done that, dude.
Yeah, here she is just being complete. Like, Joe is the kindest human being of all time, probably telling her dreams could still come true at any
For
point.
sure. Just
And
be
then
determined and get after it.
She meets the fucking GM of New York Comedy Club and gets destroyed on the spot.
well, good.
That lady
You
is-
want to be in this? That's
Dude,
what it is.
She is gonna be a fucking owl pellet of bones at the bottom of some subway track very soon. She sounds like she's
What the fuck?
such an irritant. Have you ever taken
Yeah.
apart owl
Yes.
pellets and there's
Yes.
just weird like fucking vermin bones hanging
So
in there?
disgusting.
So
you did
gross.
that in high school, right?
Oh.
You
didn't
never
do
did that?
Took apart owl
Nicole?
shit?
Owl pellets. No,
Pellets.
it's what they ate and then I think vomited up, but it's like all fucking it's like
It's
a
bones
cyclone
and
of
shit.
hair and just bones.
Yeah.
Like a hairball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with bones.
Do you
Yeah,
have...
there were bones in there.
So many bones.
Got it.
But that's the big part for the, you know.
Nicole, did you do that in high school?
Yeah, but Cannon made it sound like a threat. Like, why would she be at the bottom of the subway?
Because I was gonna finish what I was gonna say. She's gonna do that to somebody who has way less patience than even fucking Brendan.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna Hadouken her directly into the third rail, and she's gonna fucking earn it.
Dude, and I saw her the other
Yeah,
day.
look at that. She's gonna be a true old bag of burnt bones because she goes headfirst into the third Reezy.
And yeah. I mean, big ending on the story with the big laugh and everything, but I saw her the other day. Like
no,
when we
you
were,
didn't.
Yeah, around here. After we recorded, we were going.
She goes up to
Well-
Liz. How do I get on stage
Yeah,
at the
she-
comedy
Let's just
cellar?
put two in her face.
Este's sister.
I did a show where I went up to the host, which is that thing of like, generally in comedy, like, we're having comedy talk.
Oh no.
We're having comedy
Don't
talk.
do
We'll
it.
stay away from
Don't
it.
do it.
Yeah,
Stay away from it.
this is more just a story of me not having a great set because when the guy brought me on stage, I was the second comedian on the show of like 5 or 6, and he was like, "What do you guys say? You ready? Are you still in there? Do you still want more comedy?" And they were like, "Yeah!" And then I came up and I was like, "Still ready for more comedy, huh?" And then they all like were like, "Yeah!" And I go, "Imagine if you weren't." 14 minutes into the show. That'd be pretty bad, right? If you guys weren't ready and you guys like, "No, we've had our enough, we'll leave." And they
funny.
were like, "What?" Like, "No, we're excited, asshole." And I'm like, can I take that back?
Yeah. You don't get me.
Yeah, no, it was because it was more making fun of the guy. And they're like,
Yeah.
"But we
Yeah.
liked him." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah.
you'll like me
Dude,
if you just forget the first part."
there's just sometimes nothing you can do. There's just
It's
something
over.
you
Yeah,
can't
you
be
just-
like.
I was still getting the mic out of the stand.
yeah.
By the time it was back here, I was done.
I said I was similarly. I did the weed show at the comic strip the other night, which was just a nightmare and a batch. And it's a 4:20 show. Do you know they sometimes do weed shows at that hour? And it's,
Benson.
yeah, and it's inside. People are smoking.
Excuse me.
We might have to bleep the place if I don't know if that's legal. Who cares? Keep it open. So there, it's a whole event. Whatever.
People know. I
But
mean, you don't have to bleep that.
As soon as I walked in, it was like just watching people eat shit. The only good weed shows I've ever done in my life are the crowd work shows. Those are like, for whatever reason, the way they're promoted and billed, people come excited to watch comedy and not just excited to be high and passively.
Well, I'll
be
tell you
entertained.
what, the minute, because these audiences are, of course, incredibly high.
Dude,
And they.
High audiences are some of the worst. People always say like high audiences, they'll be laughing and giggling. It's like, no, they are cross-eyed and
Nodded.
folding
Well,
in.
I'll
on
tell you
themselves.
what. I'll tell you. You need to be at a. There needs to be a certain amount of high that you are. Like you need to be at. Like you can't be too high. You can't be too not
Too
high.
hip
There's
or
got to be
less.
that perfect mode, and it could be the best show in the world.
and I think you also have to be excited about specific performers. This was like a general event of like
Right.
comedy and weed, and I think the weed was the selling point. So people are truly like slumped.
yeah.
Immediately, I'm just watching people just eat their bag.
Right, because they're also like, have you ever gotten too high and watched a movie and you're like, ooh, they're all acting.
Yes,
I can
well,
see
I-
them
oh,
act.
yeah.
So this is the story
Oh,
I told
yeah,
them.
buddy.
Is I got on stage and I was like, I too have been too high to make the audible response of laughter. I was like, you just sometimes forget. Like I was like, you guys seem like you're enjoying it. You're smiling, but the sound is just not coming. And it got kind of like more confusion than anything else. Like they couldn't believe somebody new was on stage. They like forgot that what was happening.
Yeah.
It's like, it's truly being like Men in Black between each moment. And they don't even, there's no semblance or organization to the event.
Yeah.
So I told the story because it's true. When we took edibles one day, 420, where we dumped like a whole. This is when you made edibles and you had no idea which square of the brownie could have had 100% of the THC
Right.
or how displaced it was at all. So we dumped like a half ounce of this good weed at the time into this, made these brownies, ate them, and fully hallucinated. My friend Tim ate one and goes, "I'll be right back. I got to go break up with my girlfriend." And he literally left, drove away. Came back in 2 hours and he's like, "That was really difficult." like truly couldn't do it. He's like, I started freaking out. I almost took her back. I lost my mind. He's like, I had to get out of there. I just yelled, "We're done," and ran out of the door. Drove back.
God.
I was like, all right, cool. And then we went, and then Nicole freaked out. She was having a tough time, and she had an 18-year-old dog named Mason. It was a miniature schnauzer. So he kind of like looks like a wizard. And he has, gray hair coming down, and he had like 60.
He's got the what is that mustache called? The Fu
Manchu.
Fu
Yeah,
Manchu.
Dude, this dog had like 46 strokes, right? But just kept ticking, kept living, wasn't pissing himself, wasn't like showing signs of wanting out. So they weren't putting him down. I watched this dog have a stroke at the top of their steps, fall down the steps, get up at the bottom, and walk outside.
Oh my God.
It was fucking nuts. This dog is nuts. So Nicole is on fucking Zoran trying to, and she's not really a weed person. And this dog would walk over to her and I'd go, "Hello, old friend." Like behind my head to the fucking center. And I was like, "I'm death." I just pretended to be the Grim Reaper, threw the dog for like fucking an hour. She, of course, like locked herself in the room, hated me, threatened to break up with me. Her sister went up there. They were
no fun.
Yeah, they dealt with each other. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go see Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Huge sticking point in our early relationship.
Really? You just did that and then left and went to go see a movie?
Did. Yeah,
That's
pretended her dog was death. And then I was like, I'm going to go enjoy.
That's gangster, dude. That's like something that would happen in like a skit on a Dr. Dre album.
I was like 23. I was
peace,
an idiot.
bitch.
I was a pure fucking idiot.
I'm gonna go see Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Peace, bitch. The door slams. Boom. Ding, 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 ding. Guess who's back?
So whatever. During Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I remember we got there late, so we had to sit like first or second row. I think it was actually first. So my neck is like cranked. I'm on, a million millis. So fucking
Why don't they just get rid of the front row?
Of what?
because
movie
it's
theater.
because they're making money out of people's misery.
They make the aisles smaller.
No, they don't want to.
There's a lot of
They don't want to.
They need hammocks. Movie theater hammocks.
You can't watch a movie in a hammock.
I could.
No.
Are you
the whole
fucking
movie.
kidding me?
Yeah. It's not only the swinging, but they'll just nod off.
Nope. Ropes?
I could watch a movie in a hammock, I
Ropes?
think.
Yeah, it's a
I don't
rope
really
back.
like
It
being in
doesn't matter.
hammocks, though.
You don't
I don't-
like being in hammocks? That's because you getting out of it is a true
Getting out of it is
scene.
Yeah, dude, getting out of it, I'm like a cartoon. It's like,
It's
Jake,
like,
get me off this crazy thing.
yeah.
it's like handling a bowl of milk with a hockey stick. So whatever. So and I'm looking up at the thing, and the screen is like morphing, kind of like I'm having visuals. And then I would just like every 20 minutes, like it would just the audio of laughter that I've stored up from forgetting to laugh would come shooting out of my face. It wasn't even like a laugh though. It wouldn't sound like
that.
yeah, kind of
That's
an
crazy.
exhausting of air. Almost. Like, it was fucking nuts.
Dude.
So, yeah, I talked about that, and then I just ate shit. Same, immediately unlikable. They didn't
Yeah,
like me,
you
my
do-
story, or the fact that I smoked weed and found it repulsive, even though they were also getting high.
Nothing worse than when you do a full story and then you're like, all right, okay, so
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
That was the thing that was supposed to ingratiate you.
I was like, this is gonna, we're gonna really mesh.
Now, when you mentioned Forgetting Sarah Marshall, did you say anything about Russell Brand?
I did. I said, hail Russell Brand. The state is coming after him. He's too close to the truth. As soon as he started speaking out against the government, all of a sudden,
That's the way.
The
that's
truth I've
such
seen
a
is about
genius
all
way to
these
get out of.
5-star reviews.
That's right,
we have.
Nicole. Mute that.
You know what?
Channel might get a strike.
You know what? for today and today only, don't worry about leaving a 5-star review.
No.
I think you're okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
who cares?
Enjoy. Thanks for watching the show.
Take the day off.
Yeah, I was just about to say, take the week off.
Yeah.
All you gotta do.
You can see us all live, right? Mike Feeney Comedy, Mike Cannon Comedy, BrennanSagalow.com, Nicole C. Lyons on social media. Come see it. We have live shows.
Yeah.
I'm headlining in at the Dojo Comedy Club, or is it called the Comedy Dojo?
Comedy Dojo, yeah.
The Comedy Dojo in New Jersey. Please come out to that. That's going to be fucking sick. Tickets are at my website right now. And then me and Luke Moniz are doing like a co-headlining thing at Sesh Comedy Club for the New York Comedy Festival. So come on out to that.
Why'd you just go full Harvey Firestein?
For the New York, you almost said Weinstein.
I
right?
did.
It did.
Sorry, I was thinking about my hero.
I hate the guy because I love plants.
Aha.
Anyway, I'm a big advocate for plants.
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of snout cock.
I go, hey, do whatever you want to that young actress, but don't you jerk off in that plant.
That's
Innocent.
Can't consent.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. Twitch.tv.
Feeney, you're in on that joke, right? Just
Feeney hasn't.
You just believe in
not
the
in.
I'm
premise.
just happy that you both talked long enough to where my camera wasn't cut to
Nicole,
at all.
put it over on Feeney the whole time.
It's already too late.
Well, I
Already
do
happened.
because it's funny watching Feeney like slowly lose interest and wait for it to finish.
Slowly reel himself back.
Yeah.
Nicole's like the director from Truman Show. She's like, zoom in.
Push.
push. Yeah. And now.
YouTube.com/Mike Feeney Comedy. Subscribe to that, please, as soon as you can for goodies and more.
Yeah, October 6th, I'll be in Mount Clemens, Michigan at the Emerald Theater. There's 1 trillion seats left. Come out to that. October 7th, I'm in Columbus, Ohio. Those tickets are actually moving at the Attic Comedy Club. 2 shows. Come out to that. Let's sell them both out. Why not? Then I'll be in Los Angeles, October 20th, and October 21st, I'll be in Burbank, California. Come on out. Levittown following, DC following. A lot of dates coming in. A lot of fun shit. And Nicole, what would you like?
Nicole C. Lyons on Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube.
Yes.
That's it.
Subscribe to the YouTube.
Great.
Feeney, you're hosting.
I know. I just thought that there would be just a moment. I'm checking into our flight.
Why would you do that right now?
Because I
I've been
thought I had
holding
enough
off.
time. I had enough time. Why would you? You're not going to get in?
No.
I've been holding off. Why
That's
would you-
right.
You're
I
abstaining?
checked in on my flight while we were smoking.
Oh, I have already checked into mine as we speak, and now, because I acknowledged and continued both the conversation and what's going on, I think since it verified the check-in status, I already have my boarding pass, so we're good to go.
I completely relate to the high crowd because just being too high, like I got too high at that after party.
Don't check in.
And are you checking in your flight right
He's
now?
gonna try.
Should I just do a solo pod?
No, I'm back. I would never do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we didn't even talk about Radio City.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't even consider that as an interesting thing people might want to hear about.
Mike did.
Well, it's too much comedy.
You fucks.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
The
It's too much
privilege
comedy.
that you people think that you own over us is
You know how many
goddamn
80-year-olds?
insane.
Brendan.
You know how many 80-year-olds in the subway would kill to hear about this story?
Right.
If I could get them in.
Yeah. Which I cannot.
I sure.
We just had a meeting.
I am
about
the general manager of Radio City.
The title is We Just Had a Meeting.
it. Yeah.
That's the funniest fucking thing ever, dude.
Mike did Radio City.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Hey,
I mean, it
moved
is
a shit ton of
it is-
tickets. They both sold out.
Yeah, it was my show. It is just not even. So weirdly enough, I tricked myself into having a good mindset for the entire show because the truth is it's not my accomplishment. It's Chris's accomplishment. Chris DiStefano headlined
Right.
Radio City and MSG Theater in one fucking weekend, which is insane. Over fucking 10K, I think over 11K tickets sold in 2 nights. Truly bonkers. His
Yeah,
accomplishment,
Chris.
unbelievable. For real. And then he, the guy he has all of his boys from the beginning on both shows. So for the first show, it's James Mattern, it's Sergio, it's me, Sergio Chacon, me, and then Chris. Then for his second show, he had James host again because he's the greatest setup man in all of comedy. He had Don DePetta, which is a longtime friend of ours from LA. And then he had Pudge Fernandez.
Pudge.
Fucking Pudge, who truly, especially Chris, but also I have to acknowledge how much he helped me as well, got us like a shitload of fucking stage time to start our careers, like Laugh Lounge
Uba Lounge.
shows, Uba Lounge. He did all these like weird hookah shows, most of which were true nightmares, but all of them got us necessary stage time to just get up and tell
Build
jokes.
the
and all that
armor,
stuff.
right?
And and Chris gave him fucking time at MSG, which is pretty fucking sick.
That's fucking cool.
And then Sal Volcano came out and blew the roof off. I mean, everybody was so goddamn excited. And then Chris followed that, which is crazy.
Right.
So it was awesome. I was super pumped to do it. I tricked myself into having the right mindset because leading up, I was like, this isn't my show. I don't care. Like it is what it is. Radio City's cool. Like I just thought of it almost like, oh, it's another theater I'm lucky enough to get to do for Chris, but it's like, whatever. It is what it is. It's a gig.
Fucking huge, dude.
Well, that's the thing is like, so I pick out the shirt, I had insane confidence because again, I'm thinking it's like not that big of a deal. So I get this purple, like peacocky, insane. Mike doesn't typically wear this shit, at least in this big of a show type of thing.
Yeah.
It's got Biggie's face all over it. I also, whatever. So I'm at the peak of my manic confidence getting that shirt, excited, go there. As soon as I get into the venue, you kind of get hit with the history of it immediately.
Yeah.
It's so ornate. It's so beautiful. It's so clearly like set up perfectly and exactly to have the best sound imaginable.
Yeah.
So like the moment I walked in, it's like, Chris, his camera crew, his whole family, and I'm like, I'm gay. And it's like, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay. It like echoed throughout the entire rafters, which was awesome. They didn't seem to appreciate it, but it was definitely had to give a take 2 for his vlog.
Yeah. You're like, one more? Mike will just grab that mic off you real quick. All right. Sorry, we got to recharge that one. The whole night? Yeah. Slow charge. We had a meeting about it.
Hey, Mike, Pudge is gonna do your spot.
We had a meeting about it. It's just so good. So, and of course, the only thing I want to do is like, I want to walk on the stage. That's what I like to do in these big venues because it at least gives you like some kind of view of what you're about to experience. Right. It doesn't give you the full feel, obviously, but it makes you feel like, all right, I've at least been up there before. I know
You don't
what to
like
expect.
to be
what I'm
surprised at all about it.
Not really. I mean, it's not that I don't like. It's that I would rather.
Right.
I would rather just know what I'm what I'm about to go through. So I go up there and I immediately like walk onto the stage, forgetting that there's like union rules, there's all of this shit, and they had already struck the stage. So if you like walk out there, it's like a tacked on 10
starts,
grand,
right?
Yeah.
like
Jesus
immediately.
fucking
So I walk
Christ.
out there and like, dude, and I'm like, hey, and
Really?
yeah, and I walked back out behind the curtain, like saw very little of the venue. It was all lit up anyway, and it was kind of more of a panic blur because I got yelled at, and they were right.
Right.
So it's like my pay and then some for
Right.
the fucking,
Right. That's
for,
a way to start the confidence of like, okay, last time I was on this stage, I got bullied.
I got yelled at.
I got
to
yelled
get
at
off.
like a child.
It was my whole childhood. It couldn't have been more perfect. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't get that. We're in the it's not the doldrums. What is that? The bowels, bowels of the building, and we're in the fucking dressing room. Sagalow shows up. We're eating pizza. He spills it on himself.
Almost instantaneously.
0.2 seconds into his arrival.
Uh-huh.
Literally says, "Hello, is that pizza?" It's ruined. That was his entire flow.
Well, I'm blaming.
I
the
also love
pizza.
the idea of being like, is that pizza? I've heard about pizza. Is that it? That's really what they say?
The only other thing it could have been was a cake designed to look like a pizza.
Right. Don't promise me with a good time.
Yeah. It's just is it cake of a pizza?
Yeah.
So he goes, spills it all over himself.
Everybody's laughing
I mean, that
at me.
picture, if you can kind of just crop out Brendan, is like a terrific family
I know.
Like, of you two. That's like a great picture.
I know.
Of you two.
But I put him in because it's kind of perfect and it's so hilarious the face he's making
On the
just
phone.
how unprepared he is for a photo on the phone.
Fucking
and the-
homeless pimps going. Peep, 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 peep,
Were
peep,
you
peep.
walking through?
Wow, it's almost like it's a big event that people want to catalog.
I was
Chronicle.
well, like, I'm always getting pictures taken of me, and it's like it's just so fucking much. Anyway, but
It's just so fucking bad.
it's just so fucking much.
So-
I gotta have a bodyguard like Leonardo DiCaprio with the see that video.
Oh yeah.
What does he have?
He has a bodyguard who has like a flashlight that goes like this.
Oh yeah,
to
those
the-
are
to the
so
cameras.
strong.
Yeah.
Those are so strong because they do that at shows when people are like, if there's like someone goes on each other's shoulders at a concert, there's always like, it's like a mag light. You're like, whoa.
So before we go on, or before the show even starts, which is so funny because this is classic Chris. Also, is like, he's being. Everything in comedy right now is a spectacle, right? People have like fucking marching bands come out before them. They have dance troops. They have whatever. Like they make it a bigger fucking show than it ever has been before. So all leading up to it, Chris is getting suggestions from people to see if he wants to do something like that. He's telling me absolutely not. It's all comedy, baby. Fuck this. Yeah. Only the hour's going to stand out. Who gives a shit? Like, he's just like clearly like in his head getting all these suggestions and trying to just push through with the original vision. And then I see him one night. He tells me that. I see him the next night. He's like, yeah, man, it's just going to be a straight comedy show. Like, we're going to have a great time. I'm like, all right, awesome. And then the next day, the day of the show, I wake up and I scroll and it's a guy being like, come see me and my band open for Chrissy D Radio City. I just start fucking dying laughing. It's hilarious. Just
now, ladies and gentlemen, the New York City Rockettes.
Chris is in the middle.
In heels. Cock bulging out of the fucking side of his.
He's on for 45 minutes. When's he going to tell a joke?
Yeah. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. Just jokes.
Union overtime. I guess I get it.
Yeah. Like, you just don't
experimental
understand.
Comedy.
Yeah.
So it's so funny. So the band is there. The guy's super funny. The guy is super nice. His band goes out. They kill it. They play a bunch of Whitney Houston covers. Like, he just set the stage for Chris. James goes out. Sergio is next. Then me. We're all doing 10 minutes.
I saw the video of James walking out
at MSG.
And it was like, I think 32 seconds before he touched the mic, he just literally was like,
I fucking admire that.
Yeah.
I admire the ability to do that because something
it's
about
wrestling.
I did that opening for Theo. Like, I don't give a fuck.
You did?
I'll walk out and I'll go.
You don't feel the need to like grab immediately?
I used to.
Yeah.
But dude, fucking try. I mean, it's so hard to do without feeling like a douche. But when you walk up and you're like, what's that? Like, they really do wake up and they're like, yeah. Especially in a theater.
There is that thing. I think everybody who's like opened in the theater walks out because it's literally such a far walk to the microphone that you can't just walk out straight. Like, you always
have to
like,
cartwheel.
No, you have to acknowledge.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, like,
well, you
like
can't
that.
do this. You can't like.
You can't raise the roof.
Force
I think
a
he
game
did that
winner
a couple times.
Oh, James?
It worked.
Well, that's it. James, first of all, is like half hype man, half MC, half comedian. Like, he like plays all of these different roles perfectly, and he whips the crowds, especially in these big venues, into like a fucking fever pitch. Perfect frenzy. They're ready for comedy. It's great. Sergio goes up and kills, and as he's going on, it's kind of dawning on me that this is a big deal. Like, for the first time, and I was pacing. You saw me behind stage.
Oh, yeah.
And I put up the video of me waiting, which I almost just tripped, fell, and landed on my face in front of 6,000 people, like, as I walked out, because James, like, stuttered on one thing, and I literally, like, went like this and almost fell. But it just...
Bro, if you fucking tripped coming out,
dude,
it would have been legendary.
Look at this. Watch.
Dude.
They would have thought that was a good bit.
Are you ready to show some goddamn love, baby? You know what it is. Come on. Clap your asses on radio station. Show some love to the one and only, the great Mike Cannon.
That's it right there. Literally, like, herky jerk. So that from the side, it's
the wave is good. You got to wave.
Well, so this is the thing. So right before that anxiety is pretty palpable, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm saying to myself. I'm just trying to get into some zone of knowing what I'm first gonna say.
Right.
I'm surprised that you're actually nervous about this because you had just done a theater the week before.
This
with
is
us.
6.
Yeah, and this
literally
was
a weekly thing.
This was 10 times the capacity of that one, let alone what we actually sat.
Some tickets were available.
Yeah, they're smattering. So what? So I'm walking out, and the thing that so from the side you can hear it, but it's not the best because, like, you know, all before we're told, like, hey, just a heads up, it may feel like a delay. The space is really big. You have to really take your time in between each line, deliver it, and kind of sit because the laughter is going to push slowly towards you, and you may not even feel it. You might feel like you're bombing type of shit. So we're getting like those kind of notes.
Yeah.
And it's true because, you know, you see arena shows sometimes and you're like, oh man, I don't even know the timing of that or how that would go
Right.
because
Yeah.
it's such a vacuous space, and it's like you might not hear the laughter as well, or it may not reach you. Or we've all done fucking outdoor shows. We know what it's like.
Yeah.
So I'm taking that into consideration. And the second I grabbed the mic, I made fun of James, like immediately got in, and it was the exact opposite of that. It was like instant connection.
Yeah.
Instantly in, dropped into the half pipe. We're into the routine. Like we're going. And I'm doing really well.
You
and
get that first laugh too, and it's like, oh, okay.
yeah. Well, and I was telling Brett, I told you after, I was like, that opener I wrote like 3 weeks ago to a month ago.
It's so
like
nuts,
it's crazy
dude.
that I wrote that and then I just did it in front of 6,000 people. Like I've worked it out probably 100 times in 3 weeks, but still, just even that idea of like thought 3 weeks ago now turned into a thing in front of that many people. And, you know, as soon as I started getting cooking or started like really feeling it, and I'm like, you know, walking a little bit and pacing,
You farted.
I shit. My asshole
Right.
gleeked and it went directly into my ankle. But no, it was one of those things where I caught a view of myself. I'm like, dude, as soon as I'm walking out, I'm all over the place a little bit, but as I was walking out, it felt like I was holding a spear, dressed in a loincloth, and about to fight an alien for like the defense of Earth. Like that's how big this shit
Cool.
looks, dude. It's fucking black and it's
Well, that's
huge.
what's wild about it is like any theater that I've ever done, like I think the biggest one was probably that State Theater in Jersey with Tim, and that was I think that's like 2,800,
Yeah.
2,500,
Yeah.
and even that it's
Yeah.
like you see the only thing you could see are the emergency
Yeah,
the
there's a
emergency
lot.
exit rows of like the track light, like the little like you know the runway lighting almost
Right.
like kind of thing, and it's like but there is for the most part. It's just black. It's just a black
Yeah.
void,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And then those big,
Like
big
look how big,
spotlights.
look how fucking big that is,
That
man.
just keeps going
I
up.
sent you guys that one picture that's not on Instagram, but it's like to show perspective of me to the stage, and I'm like a fucking just a white
Oh,
dot.
yeah, dude. It looked like Attack on Titan.
It's crazy. So, you know, it's going. I'm doing really well. I catch myself on the monitor, and I know I'm comfortable because I immediately start trashing my shirt.
Right.
The decision to buy it works. It's like it comes off as organic and in the moment. And it's like a fucking club set
Hey,
now.
kill
And I'm
too, yeah.
and I'm just like, and now I'm rolling and rolling. And I finish, and it's great. And I come off, and like the moment after I got off stage, I was like, I just did fucking radio. So like the moment actually hit where, and also the next day helped too, where I forget that guy that always wears the Yankee hat, but he's an older comic down there, Justin John or something, or Justin, I forget, but he's a nice guy, but he used to open for Julio Iglesias. And he was telling me, you know, and this
The
is
singer?
like, yeah, classic old guy comedy advice too. He's like in terms of the world, the amount of comedians that have performed on the stage at Radio City can fit in your fucking fist.
Wow.
He's like, so you're now a part of an elite group of people who have been on that stage,
Whoa.
and nobody can ever take that away from you. So fuck everybody.
Yeah.
And as soon as
Dude,
as soon as he said
love
fuck everybody, I'm reading
Dude.
books on the Troubles. I almost made a Molotov cocktail and threw it into the bar. I'm fucking losing my mind, ready to just set off a fucking Toyota Corolla with a car bomb.
It's a great feeling. Do you put that in like a book or anything? I put a lot of accomplishments at the end of my book.
Mhm.
Be like, did this, like 2023 accomplishments.
I don't. I mean, I probably should. I am journaling, so that's kind of that's keeping track of it a little bit. It is funny to like, you know, what the journal was like even up to a month ago or a couple weeks ago to now. It's like I'm fucking bipolar.
Right.
Like it truly reads like an insane person of
Yeah.
just like there's nothing but darkness, and now I'm just like, and I'm living my dream.
And
Notebook.
I've got a flashlight. When you went up, I like immediately ran into the room because
Mhm.
you can't fucking tell behind the stage. Like you can hear the jokes, and you were like killing with, you know, everybody
in
that
the
we were
back,
hanging
yeah.
out with. But I was like, I really want to feel what this feels like for 6,000 people. That's
Yeah.
fucking insane,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And now you got people that are like they might just even come, hey, I think I saw you at Radio City.
Well, I have gotten that since in the city, which has been awesome. So the reason why I raised my hand, I'm such a fucking low self-esteem asshole that I also like Sergio literally jogged to the microphone, and
he came out shadowboxing.
I was considering making a full sprint too, too, just so I couldn't hear the lack of applause and you know, awareness of who I am. But the thing that actually got my hand up was there was a decent pop. Like I've been on Chris's pod a bunch, so there was a fair amount of people that knew who I was, and that was fucking. That's
it also just
coolest
keeps
shit
you
ever.
in the room, dude. It's like you know, I would watch Louis do that, and I was like, oh, that's the move.
Yeah.
Just come out,
Acknowledge.
wave, hello.
Yeah.
And then, you know, because when you go straight to the microphone, hi everybody, my
totally.
shirt sucks. And
Well, that's the other end of the story, right? So it could have gone the way it went, or it could have gone same exact pieces,
Right.
but I flipped out and none of the timing was right. I immediately call my shirt stupid. They just agree.
Yeah.
It's like whatever. So there's there's alternative universes where that's what happened.
yeah. Well, and there's also an alternative universe where you did that and it bombs, and then you just turn so heel that you have your own like Philly moment, your Bill Burr Philly moment.
And I ruined Chris's big night.
Is your Homelander moment? And you're like, fuck you. You need me, you pieces of shit.
Yeah.
You don't get Chris without me. You don't understand that?
I could stay up here all night.
Yeah, I do time, and then he comes out, not the other way around. If you're not good for me, you don't get him.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Then Chris came out, and I mean, it goes without saying,
Annihilated, yeah.
just fucking annihilated. It's a huge night. Took a picture with his family on the stage. It's fucking.
I got teared up, and I was like, I'm like, you know, if we were all actors, I'd be number 14, or you know what I mean. And I was getting fucking teared up by seeing him with his family on that stage, because there's like a thing where it's like, it's possible. Like, you know what I mean?
Totally.
There is that like thing in you. As much as I hate myself, I'm like, and everything, I was like, I'll never get that, blah, 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 blah. You see that for a moment, you go, this can happen.
Dude, and then you do it,
possible.
and you're like, oh, I want to do that for a fucking hour.
Yes.
The whole time I'm on stage, I'm like, bummed that I know where I'm gonna end.
How much time was it?
10.
10.
Yeah, so we all did 10.
Dude.
But it was like, again, it's like I knew the 10 I wanted to do. I didn't get to run it at all because I did 11 p.m. spots at New York Comedy Club all week. And it was for fucking schizophrenic alcoholics that were like throwing shit at me. Like I was
bookers love to do that. Hey, do you have something you need to run? Why don't you go, you know the New York Comedy Club? Do it in the alley.
Yeah.
We'll
Would
book
you like
for
to
the
tame
alley.
lions while doing your bits? Perfect. Here you are.
It is kind of running with like, you know, weights on and shit.
Yeah,
I had these
ended up being
people
fun.
who at New York where they were like, I got up there and it was a thing of I was really excited to work on this new material. You know, you get a new joke, you're very excited about it.
Yeah.
And I went on stage and immediately the first like 3 and 4 guys, like the first minute, they're just talking so loud. They're like finance bros kind of a dude. There's 3 of them and a woman. And they're just like talking so loud. And I see people doing this. And it's like that thing of like, I'm trying to work on something. Now you're going to have to make me address this. So then they were like switching chairs. Did I tell this last time?
No.
They were switching chairs. And then I was like,
Children.
and I was like, yeah, you guys, I was like, you know, I think we'll probably figure it out soon over here. And he was like,
Right.
and they were like, oh, sorry, we're just switching chairs. I'm like, oh, I don't care about the moving chairs. It's the talking loudly and disrupting the show thing.
Right.
And then because of that, they like switched chairs like 2 or 3 more times to be like
Cool.
dicks about it.
Tons.
And then within like a minute, they got up and the 3 guys got up and left the room. And I said to the woman, like, are you with them? And then she was like, yeah. And I was like, so they're coming back? And she was like, yeah. I was like, so just a cool Coke run for the 3 of them? I was like, no 3 men go to the bathroom
Right.
together. And they're like, the audience hated them so much. It was the exact opposite of my other show I was talking about, where like the audience was like, thank fucking God they're gone. Thank God someone's mentioning these people. And thank God. And I think they probably, because they never came back from my whole set. So I think they probably went out, did Coke or smoked a cigarette and just was like, fuck this guy set. We'll catch the next one. Which
Right.
it was like, so I literally I was
they did
listening
you a
back to it.
favor.
You could hear me going, well, that's the greatest thing they could have done. Let me get to this new material before they come back and talk through it all.
Right.
And so I tried to do that stuff. So it was very, it was very fun. But
Why do you keep looking over there, dude?
Somebody just did walk
yeah.
in.
Oh, okay.
How much time do we have left, Nicole? I know we're not supposed to ask that.
You can wrap up soon.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Never wrap it up. Well, no, I want to talk about the after party
Yes.
because Brendan did get too high and I also got too high.
And, you know, can I say it from my POV?
Please.
Your POV, you're too high at a party is TikTok. So I get there and I'm in the elevator, right? There's this tiny little elevator. Can I tell you
Going to the Roxy inside of Radio City Music Hall, which is like a famed exclusive room / club.
really nice. It kind of
Yeah,
looked
really.
like It had like if you took a room and you asked AI to put like Star Wars aesthetic on a like library, that's kind of what it looked like.
That's not bad.
So let me tell you where the anxiety started for me. The minute I took the edible. No. So Mike gets off where everybody's so happy and everything. He immediately takes like 300 milligrams.
That's right. Don't sit in the happiness. That's right.
Yeah. I go, you know what?
I've 200.
I've been good. Every time he takes one and I want one, I'll take like 25 because I know my fucking limit. And I went, you know what? I've been good. Let's keep this party going. I'm taking 100 or whatever. I took a full one,
Yeah,
right? One of those strip things. Is that 100?
That's 100.
So I took 100 and I was like, and okay, so now we're all walking
You get done
everywhere.
eating, like, oh no.
And now we're at this, there's a line for an elevator that you need to like get by on a list. I don't have the bracelet everyone got to let you behind. So now I'm like, I don't know. And everyone's like, he's good. So I'm like, oh God, I'm already feeling like a child. And we're at this elevator. It's very small. Everybody lets Chris and his entire family in. He's got like 3 peanuts around him, like little kids, and he's holding a baby and his wife, and I know that's why I know. That's me being cute. I'm calling them little peanuts. He's got little peanuts around him. So he gets in the elevator because everyone's like, let Chris get it. Come on. There's one guy who's like his handler, you know what I mean? So he's like, let him in. Everybody's like, okay. You and Nicole somehow fucking slip right in there.
We're the second family.
So now, no one even thought about, let's get Brendan in here as well.
What am I, his fucking father?
There's that ego again.
Unbelievable.
You got
Me from earlier.
You got some nerve, man.
Leaving
for
your
some-
son unattended.
Anyway, for someone who's as codependent as you are, you got some fucking nerve.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I saw you wind up and stop yourself 3 times. You're the kid that was going to cliff jump, and you went, no, and then, fuck it. And it was worth it.
I love the high fives. So many high
There's
fives.
a high five counter. That one was our worst one.
That was a bad one. So
That's why I'm no longer
but
mad.
also
It's
at the
just
time,
how fucking thoroughly you both embarrassed
I got one
yourselves.
finger.
but even before you guys get in, I see at the door Liz and a couple other like waitresses and staff from the cellar, and I'm like staring at them, and I think me and Liz are just staring at each other, and I'm going, my hand just can't fucking wave. I'm just like, is it uncool to wave? Am I gay if I wave to her? Will she hate me? It's been too long. I'm just staring at her. Now this is weird. Look away. Why did you not wave? And you looked away. She saw you look and then look away. You're treating her like shit. You got to look back. Why aren't you waving? You fucking. And then she
Giving me anxiety.
She looked away, and then the other wait staff and they looked at us, and I went, okay, here's a chance. And I tapped Mike, and we waved together.
Yeah.
But Liz completely missed it, which was a phone call I made to Mike. I went, do you think that's gonna?
No, then they fucking Chinese subwayed Brendan into the elevator.
Yeah, I'm
Took
just
a
the
6-foot shoehorn.
I'm the size of the door with the face in the middle. You're gonna have to get the next one. So I get in the elevator.
Just Krang from Ninja
Yeah,
Turtles.
exactly. I get in the elevator, and somebody turns to me and taps me on the elevator. Very small elevator. Tap. I go, hey, and she goes, I work with your sister. And I go, oh wow, because my sister works at NBC.
Right.
And I go, oh, wow, cool. And she goes, yeah, we always get coffee, blah, blah, blah. So now we're talking, oh, yeah. She's giving me a lot of compliments. Giving my sister a lot of compliments. She says,
You took them as your own, clearly.
I went, replace that first name as Brendan, and
Yeah.
you've got someone listening, honey.
Do me a favor. Just stop saying her first name. Sagalow's so funny, and Sagalow's so cool. We got the coffee.
yeah.
I love Sagalow.
That's great. So then she gives my sister this compliment that was so articulate and so amazing and basically like
She really sees your sister.
she sees my sister. She was really nice. Really like when my sister's in that element, I'm like proud of her. I'm like, this is like, she is a fucking boss. And so
I got to see your sister work. She was great.
Yeah,
when we all
right?
went there.
So she gives that compliment. I'm just trying to be funny, and I go, whoa, jeez. I go, what is she, your fucking boss? I go, what is she, your fucking boss? And I want her to go, that's funny.
And she's like, I'm Lauren Michaels.
She took that. She took it as she goes,
A threat?
What?
Stop screaming at me, sir.
I go, what is she, your fucking boss? And she goes, what? No, we work together. And I go, I'm kidding. And then she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, that's how and then bing, the elevator opens into a party. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. We were in an elevator when that happened. Which by the way, happy ending to that story. She texted my sister, I saw your brother. My sister said he thought he was being awkward. She went, I was drunk, so it's fine.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. And I was
you
like,
gotta
ooh.
love post-show parties because everybody's a little bit fucked up. You can just kind of
And I don't.
I
away
was
with it.
saying this to you the other day when you were telling me about this. It was just like there's a difference between, because you said you felt like you almost had the next day anxieties that you used to
I
get
did,
from
yeah.
drinking. And I was like, the difference is when you're drinking, you don't really remember the things. You go, I know I said something shitty to Kenna, but I don't
Right.
remember what it was.
Right.
When you're high, you remember every
Yeah.
half a second of it. It's
behind safety glass.
It's
in
in
your
Right.
brain.
slow motion
Right.
of
Yeah.
you just being like, aha, and then
And
like,
that feeling of when you're watching a movie or you're watching stand up and you're high and you're seeing right through it is leaking out of me with every conversation I'm having at
Imposter
this after
syndrome.
party. I'm having imposter syndrome. I don't think, I'm also going, this isn't your night. Stop freaking out. I'm also going, you don't belong here. I'm also
literally, where's your wristband?
you do not have a wristband. You snuck into the elevator. You did not say hi to Liz.
You're missing a meeting for the managers.
Right, I'm making my manager look bad, is what I'm thinking. Because I'm having these conversations where I'm going, "What, dude? I'm fucking high. I don't know what the fuck." So I'm like, it's hard.
Like, I'm the head of HBO.
It's So then, okay, so I'm talking to John and Pimp, and we're at a table, and I feel because I know those guys. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So then we're talking about Blink-182, and now I feel like the conversation is ending. I'm feeling it, and I'm going, oh, I got to get out of here. Like, I got to get out of this conversation. I have to mingle. I got to find Mike. And they're not feeling that at all. And I'm going like, I'm feeling every conversation fucking ending. And I'm like, I hate myself. I hate this. I go up to Mike. I sit right next to him. I immediately feel better. I go, this is my buddy. This is my friend. He's the light right now, everybody, and you turn away. You turn away from me. You start talking to some fucking guy.
Andrew Stuckey, great guy. I love him. He's awesome.
Sure.
He used to be a producer for Guy Code. Now he does
yeah.
some other TV stuff, but he also had a really funny musical.
So you were
group,
networking.
Stuckey and Murray.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I was catching up with an old friend, old show business friend.
Right. And I was high trying to network, and I'm going like, so he turns away.
We also came up with an idea where we want to do like a almost like a fish level stand at a club where you do mushrooms and then and try to tell the same set over and over, and the same crowd also has to be committed and come back every single night.
Jesus Christ, dude.
It's the worst idea ever, but it's also kind of the best
That's why
idea
it's called
ever.
The worst idea ever is the name of the show.
It's the sequel to Huge Mistake.
So, that's great. There's a theme.
Yeah.
So we're talking to Becky, and it's me, Mike, and Becky, and we're all talking. And Mike turns away, and then we're talking, and it would be normal if I wasn't high, but I'm high, and I'm going, well, she doesn't like. She's in a conversation with someone she does not like, right? It's a fucking nightmare up here.
No, I hear you.
You know what Alan said to me on Monday? He went, your dad really fucked you up. He went, wow, man, your dad really fucked you up.
Thank you. I have paid you nearly $10,000 to say that over the years. I've been waiting.
I've been waiting for even a bit of support, Alan.
And by the way, you will get that money eventually.
Yeah. It's very post-dated.
It's in escrow.
But I'm talking to her, and I've known her for years, so there is a comfortability, and I'm going like, I'm just trying to be funny, but it was a lot of the shit that happened in the elevator where I'm saying something that I think is funny.
Yeah.
But
They're not yes-anding. They're kind of no-budding. And or not even budding, just no. And I have to go,
What are they saying no to?
well, I forgot what it really was, but I remember,
Isn't this a stupid fucking thing that we're all doing this? That we're hanging
well,
out
there was
after
a lot of
party?
that. Yeah, there was a lot of that. And she's laughing. She's like, you're fine. At one point,
Someone goes, excuse me, sir, where's your wristband?
at one point, I got very like weird. I got very too high. And I noticed this weird thing that happened where she's standing, it's me, Becky, and 2 people, and I don't know who the fuck the people are, and I like it that way. I do not want to know what you do. I do not want to know who you are.
Oh, yeah. They were agents at WME, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. And she goes, I go, I'm laughing. I'm like, what are we doing here? We're all laughing like, oh, I can't wait to go home. Me and Becky are like, can't wait to go home. I got food at home. I made pork chops, blah, blah, blah. So we're all laughing.
I will say Tao hand-delivered one of the worst food spreads of all time, but go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't even touch it
No,
because
me
I had pork chops at home. And I'm like,
Can you picture Brendan like a fucking dog with a plastic bowl on the ground, literally gnawing at a fucking pork chop? With
honestly,
his teeth?
Boning.
people would,
yeah.
yeah, I'd be better off doing that at a party than what I was doing. But also, you can't, as a fat guy, eat at a party. Not, it is.
Every
it is what
picture
it
of
is.
you at a party is eating. And
Yeah.
there's literally a side
Also,
of you with a pizza.
You had pizza on your shirt from previously eating at a
Burp.
He's got you there.
But I do have you there.
Stop.
Dude, what's with the high-fiving? Yeah, I like it, but now I'm feeling like
I feel like
you have
he's
like a
marking
bet
you for
or
death.
something. Yeah, what
Yeah.
the fuck is this?
Yeah, do you have an over-under high fives with Nicole or something?
yeah,
like that?
what's going on?
Nicole would be a part
I
of
think-
that.
You've got like a Godfather thing going.
Okay.
So anyway, whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
know we got to end, but
yeah, past that, Nicole's probably freaking
She
out.
left
Are you?
hours ago.
Yeah, we are
oh,
way
shit.
over
Okay,
time.
so I go, this is just something I noticed, and it made me go like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm never going to be successful, is where I go.
Imagine
I
being
go,
one of these
I'm-
dumb WME dickheads walking around and they're like, sir?
So what does the WME stand for? Fucking whack Mr. Assholes. Oh, wait, that's.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm trying to do it.
God.
So, okay. So I go,
Oh
I know.
my
All right. We don't have time. We don't have time to make fun of me for that.
Whack, Mr. Asshole. You're lucky because you're right. Go ahead.
So they go, so we're all standing in a circle. We're having a great time. I'm feeling myself feel not the way I feel about industry people, which is like my own resentment towards that. And I'm like, as somebody who shouldn't have resentment towards it, but I'm like, I don't fucking, you guys aren't in the trenches. You fucking
no.
gatekeep. That's my evil brain.
I
That's
hear
my
you.
evil brain going off. And I'm trying to be not that guy and
hear you.
have to be nice with people that I have to work with. And a good guy. And I don't want to be a bummer. But so me and Becky are like, we're all talking about how much we want to go home, and it's very fun. Then I go, what are we even doing here? Like, this isn't for me. No one's celebrating me right now. And she goes, well, you never know who you're going to meet. And she goes, and I go, whatever. And then she goes, Brendan, meet blah, 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 an agent from WME, and da-da-da-da-da, an agent from WME. And then they're all looking at me like,
Show us what you got, kid.
yeah. And now I'm like,
And go. And you're like, I already blew my elevator pitch on the.
It's the lady from it's the old lady from the subway track.
she walks in between them. Like, oh, you could have got me free tickets, couldn't you? Is this that meeting you were talking about? But anyway, and then I clammed up and I was like, why would you tell me that? I'm trying to
front
be
of them?
real. Yeah, but I'm trying to be real. I'm
Trying
like,
to be real.
I am trying to be like
on a
problem,
funny.
yeah, on a business built on authenticity.
I'm just trying to be funny because that's where I'm like, I thrive
I know.
and that's where I feel good. And I'm like, why did you tell me that? Blah, blah, blah. But there was a lot of times where I'd make a joke about something and then one of the people would go, no, like what? No. And I go, I'm fucking kidding.
Oh, dude, being high and having that happen is. I
I'm-
can't imagine a worse death, especially.
No, I met that
industry
agent
people.
too, and I walked, and he was like, "Oh, hey, good to meet you, congrats," and didn't say good set, so I walked away immediately.
Good for you.
I was just
Good
like,
for
"All
you.
right."
You were up there.
Yeah.
At
yeah.
one point, someone started I'm having such a bad time because I'm so high. At one point, I'm like bombing in conversation, and then Becky or somebody starts coughing, and she's like, "Oh, I'm dying," and I go, "Me too," and I said that so out loud that I was like, "Oh God, what is wrong?"
You're like, sorry, do you guys like rap? So I pooped.
So I pooped my pants. Yeah, I do Feeney raps. I had a lot of people asking about the raps there too, and I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta go. I
New rap coming soon.
That's right, and that's how you wanna make an Irish goodbye.
Da-da-da-da-da.